Welcome back to my junk room. I'm going to give you another Dollar Tree haul. I need an intervention. I was going to go to Dollar General because there's 2 things I needed. 3. And I know I could get it there. And I'm like, well, I'll take a chance with the Dollar Tree because then stuff will only be $1 and I get out cheaper. I made a mistake of scanning. I didn't look at everything. I just scanned, the good sections. And if they don't stop stocking and putting out new stuff for me to see, I'm gonna have to quit going. But when you need stuff, Dollar Tree's the place to go because it's $1. If you can just restrain yourself when you get in there, and I seem to have that trouble. Well, when I have money in my pocket, I can't restrain, and when the money's gone, I don't have the problems restraining because I ain't got a choice. So I will turn you around and show you the Dollar Tree, but I was going to tell you first, I checked my mail when I come back from yesterday. I wait normally when I have to go out, or I'll send one of the kids out to get it for me. And there was a envelope, and the return address was from a settlement administrator. I'm like, well, wonder what they're having a lawsuit for now, because we get those, it seems like several a year. Between me and David, we get them for all kind of stuff. Opened it up. It was a check for $21.67 from a company I have never heard of. Had to look them up. It's a bus company, a charter bus company. I ain't been on a charter bus since 11th grade when we took a trip to Washington, D.C. That was always our junior trip in high school. Could not wait till the 11th grade because we knew we were going to Washington, D.C. The last time I have been on a charter bus. Listen, on that trip, one of my friends, we were sitting together and he was behind me. And you know how tall those seats are, and he was leaning over that seat. He was drinking a sun drop. And we were talking and carry on, and I said something that made him laugh, and he spit that sun drop all over the back of my head. It was disgusting. The same trip, let me tell you, this girl, I just now thought of it. Her mama was our home ec teacher, and they put us 4 to a room. We were in and I can't remember what the motel was called, hotel, whatever, but it was like rooms in the shape of a W, and we had 4 to a room. Well, she decided she was away from mama, and she was one of these nice girls. You know what I mean? She's doing things out of the way until we got to Washington. Girl snuck some cigarettes and singed her eyebrows off with the lighter. I ain't laughing at her misfortune. I'm just laughing at, you never would have guessed in school she was so sweet and unassuming, and then she lit them puppies up. That was a good trip. We had a lot of fun on that trip. Anyway, I don't even know how I got it, but that's my name and that's my address, and it's going in my bank. Turned out pays for my Dollar Tree today, so it's all good. I broke even. Got some good stuff to boot. Now, I was going to tell you too, I'm going to put a picture of my, let me see. Did that work? My breakfast. I made the s'mores oatmeal. The recipe is on my website. It actually saved me in the Dollar Tree because it's chocolatey. So it's kind of like a dessert for breakfast. It's not like chocolate ice cream chocolatey or nothing like that, but it's enough. And there's marshmallows on it and graham crackers, so you get some sweet. And it is high in points, but I use a half a cup of oatmeal, so it's a good serving. And you could probably experiment with the amount of oatmeal and the amount of hot chocolate powder if you wanted to, but I just make it like that. It's a good ratio of oatmeal to the drink mix. Anyway, when I went in, one of the things that I went to get was Sebastian some cookies because he's coming tomorrow, and he ate all his cookies. I went down that aisle, and y'all know that aisle's got all them little, it's like Mrs. Freshly Little Debbie cakes. The cookies, the candy, the snacks, all the things. I looked and I was like, you know what? There's so many soft things in here that would feel so good to eat, on my mouth. And I said, nope, I'm not going to use that as an excuse to just go for a free-for-all and buy all the snackages and stuff like that. Having eaten that sweet for breakfast had satiated that in me. So when I looked at everything on the shelf, it was easier to say no to it. So that kind of served a purpose today that I didn't realize it would. I was glad because I can give in in a second on that stuff if I'm not careful. So I was right proud of myself. The other thing is listen, before daylight today, I had already made my peanut butter chocolate cheesecake. It's pound droppers. And I meant to put that on my, because I put it on the other one, I think, or I didn't, I don't know. I meant to put that it was pound droppers. The only thing I changed, I made the exact same. The only thing I changed was I added the chocolate cake mix. Like she adds cake mix to some of them. I added the cake mix to it. And it looks really good. So before daylight, I had already made that, got it sitting over and cooled, and my crock pot of taco soup that I'm prepping for the week. And as I was over there putting that stuff in, it clicked. I'm like, you know what? Tomato-based foods burn. Did I make a mistake? I've also got tortilla chips, and I bought those tortillas. It dawned on me too. Rough things hurt. Crunchy things hurt. Did I make a mistake? So, just in case, I have been experimenting. I got the biotin. It helps. It does not last 4 hours like it says, but it lasts long enough to give you some relief, a respite from the whole thing. And then, even though it doesn't take that taste away, that other stuff, I cannot keep remembering that name. Like I used it some yesterday to eat. So I made pizza burgers, and I told David before he went to bed, I'm like, I don't even know if I'll be able to eat supper, because it's not like in here. I'm not thinking to cook for my mouth. I'm just cooking as usual. And so I'm like, well, with the pizza sauce, and I knew I wouldn't put no pepperoni on it because pepperoni lights me up no matter what's wrong. Just, it's a typical day. So I was afraid I wouldn't be able to eat it. Well, I didn't put pizza sauce as a dressing on it. And I did eat a hamburger, and I took some of that. Is it Metaquil? Something like that. Switched it around, got it all burning and numbed, and I ate my burger. So that did help to numb it. Now, it affected the flavor of the food. The pizza flavor, nothing, it didn't come through to me. So it was just bland, but it was more substance than ice cream or something like that. So that's what I'm going to try with my soup. But just in case, I've got enough stuff in here, I'm just going to set my camera up and pull some stuff out and just start throwing together a potato soup. Because I got plenty of potatoes. I have mushrooms I had left because I just used a few of them for my pizza burgers. So I have some mushrooms left I need to do something with. They're not enough to like saute and serve with anything. So I'm going to do like some mushrooms and potatoes. I got just a little bit of fat-free half and half left. I got milk. I got cheese. I got my cream soup mix. I'm just going to start throwing stuff in the pot and figure out the points afterwards. As it is now, I'm trying to still watch it. I'm not going, berserko, but I'm not like going all points Nazi on it either until I get this situated. And I don't feel guilty for that. You do it, like I said, you know, life's not a box and a bow on top. Things happen, life happens, you know what happens, and we just deal with it and go on. So I'm going to make the best that I can make of it. But, so yeah, I'm just going to figure the points out afterwards. I'll still, it'll be skim milk and, you know, stuff like that. So it's not going to be super insane. But, all right, well, that's all I know. I'm going to turn you around and show you my goodies from today. So I will see you over on my bed. Okay, so let's get started. I will show you what I went for. That was wide bandages for my leg. I used my last one yesterday, and so that was what I knew I could get at Dollar General, because that's where I got the old ones. 20 for $2, I think is probably a better deal than I could have got there. And they're almost as big. They're not quite as wide, but I think they're still going to work. So I went for that, for Sebastian's cookies, and Sebastian's candy for his candy bowl. I moved him from his candy bowl over to a candy dish over there where he watches TV. He only has just a handful of his little Hershey miniatures. So I thought he loves Kit Kats and Kisses, so that was just enough for him to come. He's coming tomorrow, and he'll stay until sometime Monday. Then RJ has to take him back Wednesday, so that'll be the last time I see him until August. He will be back in August, since she agreed to let them go month to month to the end of the year. So that's better than it has been. And then it dawned on me while I was there, RJ took my bubble bath when he took him last week, and he loves Paw Patrol. So I picked that up because I'm not going to make RJ bring it back. This, I already have 2 of these in my cabinet, and they work really well. 2, you put it in the corner of your cabinet, and you got 2 shelves, so you don't have to pull out so many at one time to get what you want, because I have like a stack of different dishes that I like to, when I cook, put the food on and take pictures on and stuff like that. So and I've been buying, you know, getting a lot of the Corral, so I needed another divider. Then, let's see, let's look at this stuff first. This is for Sebastian. Now, either, this will probably be up before it, but I told y'all about that glue gun. I've got to film and do that review. Well, I needed something to glue, and David did not have any scraps in the building. Everything he's used, he's thrown all his scraps away. So I know that, well, I say I did go for that, and I did go for this. In fairness to myself, I did go for these 2. I knew they had that section of wood things in their craft section. So what I'm going to do is, I've got some stain over there because I'm working on another project. I'm going to stain these 2 things because I just think that'll be easier than painting it. I don't know if I have enough paint over there for a good color or not. And then these little, I guess that is a mermaid with a ponytail. What do you think? I'm not going to use it because I just don't know about that. But the little sea turtle and the dolphin, and then the whale, I'm not going to use the seashell, and the seahorse, I'm going to like glue them on here in some kind of fashion, maybe paint his name. I just got these little paints. I'm going to go ahead and glue them on with the review of the glue gun, and then maybe just tape around it or something so he doesn't get it on the thing. And I'm just going to let him paint with just this little paint. There was no sense to buy, you know, giant tubes of so many different colors when we're not going to use that much of it. So all this for $1 was perfect, and I got better paintbrushes. And then they come with these little things, and I thought, well, RJ, because he's got his own room. Oh, I can't hang it the other way. Oh, well. I might can put that the other direction. Let me see. I bet you know what I think I can do? I think I can glue that down. That way he can hang one that way, and I can glue this and shorten it to be the same height as that one. That way on his wall he can like hang them this away or that away, whatever he wants to do. Oh, sorry. On his wall at his room at his daddy's house. I thought that would just be something fun for us to do and would give me a way to review the glue gun. So I got those things. Then let's see, back here, I got this too. This little timer. I'm assuming it's got a pull tab on the back. That's why it wouldn't come on. But the glue gun states it heats up or stays hot a certain length of time because it's cordless. I want to test that theory because I'll be recording on my phone and I don't want to holler over to Alexa. So I got this little timer, so that goes with that. I also got these. I had not seen these in there before. Cable ties. The computer over here. Lamps. Stuff that I have all kind of chargers plugged in beside my chair. The telephone. My CPAP. You name it. These are very handy. A lot of times I'll do the cord up and put a rubber band around it. This is a lot neater, so I got a pack of those. These I've never seen there before. Here's another little tidbit of information about me. I am a sucker for the snuggle smell. There used to be these little, unless you can squeeze it and smell it. Oh, it's wonderful. There used to be Snuggles used to have these little travel, portable, whatever, air fresheners. You put the little can, just a little can, in it, and when you squeeze it, I used to keep that in my pocketbook for traveling. Sometimes you need it. Then these, I just got these to have because Vicks, those are good drops to have when you got a stuffy nose and a cold. I got one of each, the cherry and the menthol, because I like cherry. David, he would definitely probably go for the menthol. Oh my! I needed more super glue because I was trying to glue something Sebastian broke, one of his toys, and I couldn't find my super glue. Could have swore I bought some. Anyway, so I needed more super glue. And this was new. These little fat notebooks. I can't resist. I just thought that was cute. Girl vibes, strong. I just thought that was cute. I have to have it. So I picked that up. And then last two things. It's a pack of 2 photo mats. So it fits in an 8x10 frame for a 4x6 picture. I don't know what I'm going to put it in, but I needed to have that. Just in case the situation come up. That's 2 for $1. You can't beat that with a stick. Then the final thing, don't ask me what I'm going to use this for, but how cute is that? This is what gets me. The colors. oh, no, I got one more thing. Speaking of colors. Little envelopes, little snap envelopes. So I just need to have them on hand. I like to have stuff like this on hand. I have a dresser here behind me that I have my stationary office type supplies in. You never know when you'd start little projects. I'm like a consummate reorganizer, redoer, refixer, changer of methods. I like to have little things like this on hand. But that was not the last thing. This was the last thing. I have one exactly like this in my bathroom that I use my bathroom laundry. The big towels go in a big hamper. Wash rags, socks, underwear, cleaning rags. They go in this. And when this gets full, I wash it by itself. I don't mix it with other laundry. I just don't. I will wash it with some towels if there's like a straggler after a load, but with nothing. I will not wash it with nothing else. Well, the one I have now, I have had it so long that it has cracked. They have that wall of the colorful plastic organization type things and platters and you name it. And the pretty colors they're coming out with now, I had to get it. But what made me think when I said colors, what made me think of it, I was standing there talking to a lady, and she was getting some stuff, and I was saying, yes, I said, some of those videos on YouTube, their Dollar Trees are humongous. And she said a cousin of hers does a YouTube, and she showed some of those little baskets, and she said, well, I got to get on there and get me some. I'm like, I am standing here, don't think of anything in my mind that I need them for, but I'm standing here trying to conjure up something that I need them for just because the colors draw me in. Me and Holly are just shiny objects. They give us colorful. It's just terrible. It is an affliction. But anyway, I think I got useful stuff. Maybe I won't use this until the year 2025, but I got it when that year comes. So there you have it. Today's a Dollar Tree. Now I'm going to go in there and start on that soup. And you may or may not see it in this video. If it does not taste good, guess what? I'm talking about it and you'll never see it. It won't see the light of day. But if it comes up next, you'll know it was a success. Okay, first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to cook my taters in the Instant Pot. I've got about a cup of water down there. I just bring it up, not all the way to the trivet, but close, and it always works. And I didn't weigh my taters yet. I will wait until I peel them and just get the meat of it. You know what I mean? I don't want to be penalized for the skins. I don't poke them or prick them or nothing like that, because I find that the skin peels off. Like, you know, when you do peeling your tomatoes or peaches or something in boiling water, you score the bottom and it makes the skin peel up. I find that that happens in here if you poke them, and which it doesn't really matter, but I don't want the tater part coming out into the water. I don't want to lose it if it overcooks. The little ones, I have a couple small ones. That's just what poured out of the bag. They'll probably get overdone, but I'm just going to mush them up in the soup anyway, so I don't really mind. So how many ever potatoes you want, and then I'm going to cook it for 15 minutes because that's how long I cook them. And after that, I'll let it sit for 10 minutes. Yep, I almost forgot. I let it sit for 10 minutes before I take them out, and then next up we'll be over here at the stove. Okay, I got my potatoes over there. They're almost through. I got my pan preheated, and I'm thinking it might be too hot. We'll see. I'm going to use 2 tablespoons. Hold on. Of the, I can't believe it's not butter. To that, I'm going to add the rest of my mushrooms that I had. This is roughly 4 ounces of mushrooms that I chopped up. I actually used the stem. I cut the end off where it's all hard and nasty. But y'all know I don't like mushroom stems, but for this, I figured they're okay. I just want to let this, taters just got through. You hear it beeping? I just want to let this sit in here. If you leave it undisturbed, which is hard for me to do sometimes, but if you leave it undisturbed, let me turn it down, they will cook evenly, nicely. Just kind of let them hang out and do their thing. Check back, make sure it's not sticking. Stir them maybe, once throughout, but basically, if you can leave it alone, they will do their thing. So I'll be back when those get done, and we'll add everything else. The next thing I'm going to add is some cream of mushroom soup, except I'm going to use my homemade soup mix. I made that for y'all a while back. It is a half a cup of mix to 1 1/4 cups of water. It will help thicken it, plus it will give it some good flavor instead of adding chicken broth for flavor, chicken bouillon, whichever one you like. There's chicken bouillon powder in this, so it will help flavor it. And I'm going to add the water first. And the mix. Stir that around. And we will let that cook a minute until it starts to thicken up. And when it starts to thicken up, we'll start adding our other ingredients. See how fast it goes? Isn't that cool? And that is the equivalent of 1 can of cream of mushroom soup. It is the same points as the healthy request. Now this is 1 cup of fat-free, half and half, because that is what, there's a little drop left, I hear it. That is what I had left from a recipe, and it needed to be used up. Wasn't sure what I was going to use it on. And then when I decided to make this, perfect reason. I'm going to bring that up to temperature. Let's set some of this over here. I have some cheese, and I could use Cabot cheese for less points, but just for soup, I don't want to waste the expensive cheese. And this is not super high. I don't know. This might be 6 points worth of cheese, whereas on Cabot it would be 2. But in a pot of soup, I don't think it will hurt the points too bad. It is just the Harris Teeter 2% sharp cheese. Now if this gets to the heat, I just want to add that cheese in. Stir it around and let it melt a little bit. Okay, now I'm just going to turn it down on low, and this stove will keep going. I got a little bit of water on top. Hold on. A little bit of separation. You just pour it off. This is light sour cream. I'm going to use a whole half a cup because I really want that flavor. You could use less, but I'm thinking that's how much I want. And the cheese is starting to melt. I've turned it down. I'm going to scoop in my sour cream, and I'm just going to stir this in and let it hang out over low heat until my taters are done, because I'm going to add them in. Then we can see how much milk we need as far as how thin or thick we want the soup. Okay, I ended up with 962 grams of taters here. I'm just going to mash them. I'm going to salt them instead of the soup, and then if the soup needs more salt, I will do that at the table. But I will give the star of the dish some salt. That would be to taste. Just mash them however, what texture you want. Let's see if I can add these in there without coming in front of you. I'm going to use this bowl to weigh my soup to get a serving size. So let's stir this in real good. Now I have already measured out 2 cups of skim milk, And I'm thinking it may take it all, but at least I know how much I started with to see what I end up with. Yep. I'm gonna go ahead and put that other cup in there. They're almost like Deen mashed taters, so they'll be good and creamy. Good creamy soup. Soothing soup. Now I already know how much this bowl weighs. Let me check and make sure that is the one in my cabinet. That is the one in my cabinet. I knew it was, but you know, about the time I start pouring in there, it'll be the wrong one. So let me slide you over a little bit. See if we can. I could just pour it while it's on the scale and not even have to do the math. Let's do that. And I might just scoop it out a little bit with the measuring cup first. I'm going to do it in grams. Because that pot is heavy. So I'm going to do it this way, as much as we can get anyway. 4. If you didn't see my Dollar Tree haul, these were my chalk markers. They mark like a, well, they're like a grease pen almost. Yeah, they're kind of like a grease pen, and they wash off with water. Very, a lot better for, you can see it better than it's not as messy either as the dry erase marker on the other side. Okay, so now this is my favorite soup bowl. Whatever soup I eat, it's my favorite bowl. Y'all have favorite bowls? I'm thinking, 244 grams if we got 10 servings. I'm not sure what that'll look like. Let's start with 2 cups and see how much 2 cups weighs, because I don't think 2 cups is too much soup. I could be wrong, but for a meal, I don't think it is. So 2 cups is 400 grams. You know who to ask. Alexa, what's 2,444 divided by 400?
2,400.4 divided by 400 is 6.001.
Looky there, 6.001. That's 6 all day long if you ask me. So 6 2-cup servings, 12 1-cup servings. I'll give you the points for both. If you just want a little side cup with your meal, you can do that. Or if you want 2 cups as your meal, you can do that. I'm calling this off the cuff, on the fly. Use up what you have left in the refrigerator. Tater soup, a success. And it is past lunchtime. I'm going to save that out. I'm going to have that today. And I'm going to put the rest in little containers and stick them in the fridge for the rest of the week.